Have you ever wondered why the people with the softest hearts, the deepest souls, are often the ones who cry alone? Why the ones chosen for higher purposes walk through storms no one else sees? It's not because they are weak. It's not because they are broken. It's because elevation always comes with isolation. And sometimes the most merciful pulls you away from the world to pull you closer to Him. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the heart feels like it is shattered into pieces too small to gather. A moment when the weight of disappointment, loss, or betrayal collapses onto the chest, leaving a person breathless, wondering how there can be any good in such a painful breaking. But what many do not see is that brokenness itself is one of the most profound classrooms of the most merciful. When the heart cracks, it becomes softer. When it softens, it becomes receptive. And when it becomes receptive, it is capable of transformation. Brokenness is not the end of a person. It is often the beginning of the truest version of them. In that fragile state, when tears fall silently in the night, when the voice trembles during supplication, when the world feels dim and empty, this is when the soul turns back to its Creator with sincerity it has never known before. There is a divine wisdom behind these moments. A heart that has never been shattered can easily become arrogant, attached, distracted, or unaware of its own neediness. But a heart that has been humbled becomes a heart that listens. A heart that has cried becomes a heart that sees. A heart that has tasted loss becomes a heart that recognizes blessings with deeper gratitude. The most merciful allows pain not to destroy a believer, but to peel away the layers that were suffocating their spiritual potential. Through brokenness, illusions fall apart. Through brokenness, truth becomes clear. Through brokenness, a person finally recognizes that strength never came from people, circumstances, or personal capability. It always came from Him. And here is the miracle. After every breaking, if the heart returns to its Lord, it does not return weaker. It returns wiser, more resilient, more refined. It returns with a strength forged in surrender, a strength that does not rely on ego or pride, but on faith and tranquility. The pieces that once seemed scattered are reassembled by the one who knows exactly where every piece belongs. What emerges is a heart that no longer fears loss because it has already survived it. A heart that no longer clings to the world because it has tasted its fragility. A heart that becomes unshakable precisely because it once felt crushed. This is the secret of divine brokenness. The most merciful breaks you to rebuild you, not into who you were, but into someone stronger, purer, and closer to Him than ever before. There are hearts in this world that carry a weight they rarely speak about, a heaviness that doesn't come from sadness or weakness, but from purpose. These are the souls that wake up feeling an invisible responsibility pressing against their chest, an inner knowing that they were created for something more than comfort, more than routine, more than drifting through life unnoticed. And while others may walk lightly, these hearts walk with depth. While others laugh easily, these hearts feel deeply. While others pass through life untouched, these hearts absorb the pain of others, feel the cry of the world, sense the whispers of their own conscience. This weight is not a burden of the dunya. It is a burden placed by the one who knows exactly what this heart is capable of carrying. Purpose is never handed to a soul casually. It is assigned intentionally, carefully, divinely. And with purpose comes pressure. The pressure to rise when exhaustion anchors the body. The pressure to stay firm when the world is shaking beneath one's feet. The pressure to speak truth when silence would be easier. Many people do not realize that those who carry purpose often walk through storms long before they stand in light. They are tested with confusion, so they learn clarity. They are tested with loneliness, so they learn sincerity. They are tested with hardship, so they learn reliance. Every difficulty is a whisper from the most merciful saying, I am preparing you. Preparation is never gentle. The strongest steel is forged in fire. The tallest trees survive the harshest winds, and the most purposeful souls endure the deepest refining. But here is the beauty. Purpose does not crush a soul unless it tries to carry it along. When the heart learns to surrender its weight to its Creator, that same weight becomes a source of honor. It becomes a pathway to growth. It becomes the very reason a person discovers their true strength. The world may never fully understand the internal battles of a soul chosen for impact, but the Lord of the world sees every step, every tear, every sacrifice made quietly, and none of it is lost. Purpose is heavy, but it is also sacred. It shapes a person into someone who can lift others. It transforms a simple life into a meaningful one. And in the end, the soul realizes that the weight it carried was not a punishment. It was a sign that it was trusted, chosen, and destined for something far greater than itself. There comes a moment in a person's life when all human support feels fragile, when the people who once felt close suddenly seem distant, when words of comfort fall flat, when advice no longer settles the heart. And in that moment, when the world feels painfully quiet, the soul discovers a truth it may have overlooked for years. The one who created the heart has never left it alone. Divine companionship is not a concept, it is a lived reality. It is the soft assurance that settles over the heart when it feels overwhelmed. It is the unseen presence that steadies a shaking soul. It is the quiet reminder that even if every hand lets go, the hand of the most merciful never does. This companionship is not earned through perfection. It is granted through sincerity, through turning back, through speaking to him when no one else understands. It is a comfort that cannot be given by creation because it comes from the Creator himself. And this companionship becomes most evident in hardship, when tears fall in the stillness of the night and there is no one to witness them except the one who knows every reason behind them. That is divine companionship. When a person feels trapped within their own thoughts, unable to articulate their pain to anyone, yet they sense an inexplicable calm during supplication, that is divine companionship. When strength appears out of nowhere, when the heart finds clarity in confusion, when peace descends in moments when peace seems impossible. This is the mercy of a Lord who does not abandon those who call upon him. He is closer than fear, closer than sorrow, closer than any human connection could ever be. And this closeness is not temporary, it is constant. It is the only companionship that remains steady through every season of life. Slowly, a person realizes that they are never truly walking alone, that there is a presence guiding, guarding, comforting, and uplifting them in ways no one else sees. They begin to speak to him more than they speak to others. They begin to rely on him more than they rely on circumstances. They begin to feel a sweetness in worship, a grounding in remembrance, a tranquility in surrender. Divine companionship turns loneliness into closeness, uncertainty into trust, and pain into purification. It becomes the greatest source of strength a human being can ever experience. The knowledge that the most merciful is with them, sees them, hears them, and will never let their heart fall without lifting it again. In the end, every moment of isolation, every season of brokenness, every weight of purpose, and every quiet night spent seeking comfort all lead to one profound truth. The heart is being guided back to the one who created it. Life's struggles are not signs of weakness, but signs of divine care, refining the soul, strengthening its faith, and deepening its reliance on its Lord. When a person finally recognizes this, every hardship becomes meaning, every tear becomes purification, and every step becomes guided. The journey is never lonely when the most merciful walks with the heart.